My name is Dillon Falardeau, and today was a special day, that's for sure. I had the weight on the tide on my first spot, and so I left it with no fish. It was my best spot, but I knew on my Garmin has the tide chart on the Garmin, and once I saw that tide starting to drop out, I showed back up a couple hours ago, and it was lights out. My second cast, I caught a 5. My fifth cast, I caught a 6. And then it was just on from there, and all the way right up to the end I was catching them. So the boys that are out there right now are going to be smashing them the next hour.
All right, we're here with Dillon Falardeau, day one leader, a little better than 22 pounds. So Dillon, how are conditions stacking up for a repeat of your performance yesterday?
I would say pretty good. You know, this whole practice, I've never fished a tidal fishery before, and the whole practice was on a falling tide, and now it's kind of switching over, where right now it's still about halfway low. So I'm really hoping that we get on really quick this morning. There might be like a little 30-minute window to get on them, and then most of the day will probably be slow. Once that tide comes up and it gets all the way up, then all the fish are spread out.
So y'all are gonna essentially get to your spots on low tide, or close to it.
Halfway up to high
Halfway
tide.
up. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's an incoming tide.
So it's an incoming.
So I understand the wind is switching around. Is that going to be a big factor?
Hopefully it keeps more water out of our area, or my area. That south wind definitely pushes more water into it, and the least amount of water possible, the better. It will create those fish to get into big groups, and then the sun helps. So with no clouds, you know, it's just like a Tennessee River. When you're fishing grass, you want that sun that buries them up in that grass and makes them easier to catch.
You think the weights are going to stay the same?
I think the weights will fall a little bit, just because there's so many of us catching these fish in one area, but the area is big. It's a really big area, and there's a lot of fish out there. So if you just hit that right spot, it can happen really, really fast.
So we're here with day one leader Dillon Falardeau. Dillon, kind of take us through the morning so far.
You know, I went to my number one area, and the tide is just too high. Wasn't seeing any fish. Fished it pretty thorough, did 3 passes, never had a bite. So I have this grass line. I was sharing it yesterday with 2 other anglers, and pulled up today, and I'm all alone. So I caught 3 in it yesterday. And I'm just kind of here hoping to get a bite, but really just waiting for the tide to get right out there. And I've caught 3 so far, and I'm only about a quarter of the way down it. So I'm a happy camper right now for sure.
So with the south wind coming in with the low tide, I mean, do you think that'll hurt your bite a little bit when the tide starts going out, or what's your outlook on this afternoon, seeing what you've seen so far out on your main area?
Since there's definitely a lot of water, the wind has blown probably a whole nother foot of water in that area. Not ideal, but since I have an hour and a half longer today to fish, well, actually more than an hour and a half, I'm pretty confident that 2:30 to 3:30, I'm doing at 3:40. So I'm really confident that from 2:30 to 3:30, I can catch a big bag.